Yeah, Thanksgiving football, baby. Look, I even got the color. I got the theme behind me, a little fall seasonal theme going for Thanksgiving football. Well, I've got a baby coming, not me personally, my wife, on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. This one's planned out. So we're going to get it in early. It's Monday. I already have one. My life is effectively over after this. So can the football gods just once give us a wonderful Thanksgiving of betting? Give us a good Black Friday with that stupid 3 p.m. game. Who cares? All I know is with me being in the hospital on Thanksgiving, that's got to be good for something, right? That's got to be a good omen. Ushering in a new era of my name, got to be good for something. Let's see. Anyway, I'm Dave Loughy with Odd Shopper. We got Thanksgiving football, 3 of them on tap. And we'll hit on Black Friday as well between the Jets and Dolphins. Do me a favor before we start. Tap that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. And as always, this sounds insane, but I will be looking at bets throughout the week. Anything else I'll be throwing on Twitter since I won't be here for my other videos. Hit me up on Twitter at Loughy_D, LOUGHY_D. Let's get into this one, baby. We got a lot of big spreads on Thanksgiving. Actually, matter of fact, if you include Black Friday, there's not a single spread inside of 7. They opened a little bit differently on Sunday. Like I said, I'm recording this Monday. It's almost 1 o'clock Eastern time. So you guys have a better idea just in case injury news breaks. Pay attention. But you got a 7.5. You've got a 10.5 or 11, depending on where you're looking. You got a 7. You got another 7.5 or 8.5, up to 8.5, depending on where you're looking with Black Friday. We'll start it off with the Packers on the road against the Lions. Lions are 7.5 point favorites here. And I'll tell you guys, spoiler alert, okay? I'm probably going to get a little bit chalky with some of these spots. And I know it's weird because you've got divisional games. All 4 of these are divisional games. All 4 of them. That makes it tough for sure. But there's things that keep leading me to a lot of these home teams. It sucks. And you don't want to be like, oh yeah, let me just spam all of the favorites. I mentioned this in another video. Like, you wonder why people are constantly bitching and moaning on Twitter to DraftKings and FanDuel and MGM and all of these going, refund my bet, void my bet. It's because they only take overs. So if a guy gets hurt, what's the likelihood that you get burned by a guy getting hurt compared to you actually making out favorably with a guy getting hurt? You know what I mean? Like, if you are just betting the best bets, you're going to have a lot of unders, probably more unders than overs, but probably a pretty equal mix, probably more unders than overs. But usually if a guy gets hurt, you're going to benefit from that a lot of times, or as much as you would that you would not benefit from it. But when you're only taking overs, when you're only taking the big favorites, a lot of times things can go south. But with Thanksgiving, things are pushing me in that direction. I'm going to tell you why. You've got the Lions as 7.5 point favorites. I know they're coming off a near loss to the Chicago Bears. Justin Fields' first time back in action in a bunch of weeks. But Jared Goff at home has been fantastic. Sure, you can use Sunday as an example of where he wasn't. But largely, he has been fantastic there. Jordan Love, I still don't buy into this at all. I can't buy into Jordan Love. You know what I buy into? Brandon Staley probably not having a head coaching job in the coming weeks. Did you see him explode at the reporter for asking about who's calling the defense? It's like, I will be calling the defense next week, and you will not answer that question again. He probably should ask it again because that team's looked terrible. 5 losses this season by under 3 points, 3 or fewer points. They just find ways to lose. So are you shocked that they lost to the Packers? Come on now. I think the problem here with the Packers, though, is this run defense. How are you going to hold up against the Detroit Lions? How do you hold up against the Detroit Lions in a game like this where they can bludgeon you on the ground? They can protect the quarterback, even though they've got a couple of injuries on the offensive line. They're getting healthier. They can protect the quarterback, and they can run the ball down your throat. Do you guys remember when we took the Lions earlier this year at Lambeau against the Packers? And David Montgomery, a couple weeks before the injury, rushed for 3 touchdowns on 32 carries, and they won by 14. This is something that I could see happening. This is my problem. Like, yeah, I know I should be taking the 7.5 in a divisional game on Thanksgiving for the Packers, but I have no faith in Jordan Love. I think the Lions are just a better team. They're at home in the Dome where, look, the track record for Jared Goff here has been fantastic. and they can run the ball down your throat. Jahmyr Gibbs is broken out. David Montgomery is still very good. And you've got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Jared Goff. Who do you have that can keep this game as competitive on the Packers side? I'm going to lay the 7.5 on the Lions. And let's hope this works out because it feels like the wrong spot, although everything is leading me towards the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving. Next up, we got the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders. Another spot where out of the gate I go, man, I got to take the Commanders at 11, right? Now, granted, I'm not taking the Cowboys at 10.5. That's why I have 10.5 listed here on the screen. Can you guys sit back for a second? Let me read something to you, okay? The Dallas Cowboys at home this year. This is ridiculous. Against the Jets, 8-point favorites, 30-10 win. 30-10 win, 20-point victory. Against the Patriots, 6-point favorites at home, 38-3, 35-point win. Against the Rams at home, 7 points, 6.5-point favorites, depending on the book, 43-20-point win, 23-point victory. Against the Giants, 17.5-point favorites, who gives a shit? They won 49-17, okay? Dak Prescott is the king of beating up on bad teams. That's what the Cowboys do, okay? And I know that Dak Prescott on Thanksgiving has not performed admirably. I think he's 1-5 against the spread on Thanksgiving games. Not great, all right? But the Commanders, and I don't even care that they're coming off a loss to Tommy DeVito and the Giants. The thing about this, though, they're coming off a loss to Tommy DeVito and the Giants where they allowed 31 points. Guys, how many times have I said all season? This Commanders defense, the secondary they're god-awful. They can't stop the deep ball. They allowed Tommy DeVito to complete 5 passes of 20-plus yards and a 44-yard touchdown to Darius Slayton. Are we losing our minds here, or is this just one of the worst secondaries at preventing the deep ball that we've ever seen? So now you're talking about a Cowboys team. The point totals that they put up at home, 49, 43, 38, 30. Those are the numbers. I might be even missing one here, but you get the point. On FanDuel right now, the point total for the Cowboys is 29.5. I got to tell you, I'm going to hammer that. Now, I actually like that more than laying over 10 on the Cowboys. Because let's just say that Sam Howell and company find ways, because Eric Bieniemy is a good offensive coordinator. Let's just say they find ways to score points and the Washington Commanders cover it. I honestly think the safer play here is to just go, screw it. We'll take the over at home for the Cowboys against the defense that can't stop, and they literally can't stop Tommy DeVito. They can't stop Tommy DeVito. So what am I, out of my mind here? Or are we on the right page? Over 29.5 for the Cowboys is the spot that I like the most here. I'd lean Dallas minus 10.5. And the one reason for this, Sam Howell's taken 46 sacks in 10 games this year. They can't protect him. They can't protect him. And I know they got to DeVito a lot last game, but if there's another team that's worse at protecting their quarterback than the Commanders, it's the Cowboys. There's still no Chase Young. There's still no Montez Sweat. So this is a game where I think the Cowboys could cover, but give me the over 29.5 points, because even if they don't, I think they continue to put up monstrous point totals, really wherever they are. 33 on Sunday against Carolina. They've been putting up huge point totals regardless of where they play, outside of a few hideous losses early in the season. Cowboys 29.5. All right, next up, this is a game that I'm going to I want to lean on OddsShopper for a second and pull a bet up for you guys that I think you're going to like. So on OddsShopper, you already know this. Some of you are there already. Some of you use it every day. If you don't, it's simple. It's a market-based approach. We're just pulling plus EV, positive expected value bets. We're taking all of the lines from every book, second by second updates, right? Pulling them from everywhere. And we're comparing them to the sharp sports books, the books that have, over time, historically, the sharpest lines. And you know what we're doing after that? We're plucking the lines that don't match up, where the discrepancies are, where we say, wait a second, that's a plus EV bet. Everyone else has it here. The sharp book has it here. This book isn't even close, right? And by the way, if you want to get a free month of this, it's an amazing tool. It's an amazing, you will love it, I promise. Even if you're new to sports betting, who cares? You have nothing to lose. It's a $99 value regardless. If you sign up at BetMGM, we have the link in the description and in the pinned comment. Deposit $10. That's it, $10. Bet that 10 on whatever you want, because it doesn't matter whether you win or lose. If you win, you still get paid out. and up to $1,500 first bet insurance, meaning on BetMGM, this is a just pot sweetener here. If you lose your first bet up to $1,500, whether it's 10, 100, 1,500, 500, you get it all back in bonus bets, which is massive. But if you use this link specifically, only way to do it, you're getting a free month of everything we have on OddsShopper Premium, from all of our plus EV bets to the parlay builder and so much more. I mean, we have everything for the Pick'em DFS sites too, like Underdog, Prize Picks, you name it. So for free. And oh, did I mention 2 months of our premium insider access Discord channel as well? 2 months of that free. It's everything. All of our expert picks for all of the sports, you name it, across the board. Sign up. Once you make that bet, you'll get an email from BetMGM and they'll get you hooked up, baby. So let me talk to you about what I'm seeing here. FanDuel right now. And by the way, some great bets on BetMGM if you're watching for Monday Night Football. But San Francisco and Seattle over 7.5 first point total. It's funny because Pinnacle, sharpest book out there, has this at plus 101. When I bet this earlier, it was plus 118. Now here's what I mean. It was 4% plus EV, 4% expected value. Now it's down to 114. And that is because people are going to bet these using these same tools, and the lines are going to come down, and it's no longer going to be a good bet. We get in while the getting's good, but still showing as a good bet. And then I looked further. I was like, what about from an analytical standpoint? Check this out. San Francisco and Seattle are both top 5 in first quarter points scored this season. San Francisco's averaging 6.5 points in the first quarter. Seattle's averaging 6.1. I expect Geno Smith to play. He returned. Maybe he's not 100%, but I expect him to play in this game. Again, recording on Monday. Expect him to be out there. Over 7.5 in the first quarter. That's an odd shopper. That's a straight markets-based approach that I wanted to hit on because I think it's a great bet. Grab it while it's there. But I'd also lean San Francisco -7 here because this team is just absolutely firing on all cylinders right now. Firing on all cylinders. They're a really tough team to beat. Brock Purdy's clearly over the concussion. Trent Williams is healthy. Deebo Samuel's healthy. Again, it's a divisional game in Seattle, but I can't back Seattle right now. Not my favorite game. I'd rather just lean that first quarter number or San Francisco -1.5 at plus 100, even money, I should say, in the first quarter. That's a spot, but I'd lean San Fran -7 as well. But I like that Cowboys over 29.5 points a lot better. And I like Lions -7.5 better than that. Wrap it up with Black Friday. Odd game. What do we say? Yeah, it's a Black Friday game, 3 o'clock, smack dab in the middle of the afternoon. Dolphins are, if you like the Dolphins, grab them at -7.5. Jacob can pull it up on the screen. You'll see there's different odds everywhere in this game. And if you like the Jets, grab them at +8.5. But we don't even know if it's going to be Zach Wilson. We don't know if it's going to be if it's going to be Tim Boyle. I mean, this is gross. I'm going under 41 here, and I like this a lot. I prefer this much more than anything else. The Dolphins are 5-5 on the total this year. 5 have gone over, 5 have gone under. The Jets, however, have gone under they've gone under in 5 straight games, and the under is 7-3 in 10 games they've played. Here's the thing. The Jets could lose 35 to 6. Well, let's say 30-6, and this game still goes under. If the Jets keep it close, how do they do it? The Jets keep this game close by making sure that the Dolphins don't score. And it is in New York or East Rutherford. So can they do it? I think they can. It's still a good defense, but it's just always a war of attrition with the Jets. The defense is out there so long that opposing offenses eventually just beat them down, and then they win. But generally speaking, we've seen a lot of low-scoring games. Take the Bills. Bills went under. Jets went under in that game. 39.5 point total. The game was 32-6, and it still went under. You see what I'm saying here? A lot of these games are going under. If the Dolphins win and cover, this game can still easily go under. But I think the Jets defense shows up, even though they have nothing at quarterback, and they can pressure Tua Tagovailoa, and that O-line is banged up as well. So give me the under 41 there. Guys, have a great Thanksgiving. Remember, I'll be on Twitter somewhere out there. Hit me up. Say hello. We'll throw some picks out for Week 12 past Thanksgiving as well. And we'll see you back here for the next one. Peace.